Greetings and welcome to our daily walk through the scriptures for March the 10th. Your readings for today should have seen you finishing up Numbers chapter 15 and reading the first 40 verses of Numbers 16. You should have been reading Mark chapter 15, Psalm 54, 1 through 7, and Proverbs chapter 11, verses 5 and 6. Now, when you read Numbers and you look at this, do you ever feel exhausted about all of the different offerings and things that they have to do? I mean, it is a lot. It really is. When you start looking at the various things that they have to do to atone for their sin, it is a bit overwhelming. And then they throw in this section of unintentional sin. You look at this in verse 22 through 30 of Numbers chapter 15, and you look at it and you go, they've even got to ask forgiveness for sins that they didn't even know that they did. It makes me really grateful for Jesus, frankly, because I can't even give an accounting for the number of sins that I have unintentionally done and then discovered later that I had sinned, or could be walking around and having no clue at all that I have sinned. And yet Jesus' sacrifice and his death on the cross covered all of these sins. That's the Mark 15. I mean, that's the point of Jesus' crucifixion, is to save us. You look at it, and as you read Mark chapter 15, they say these words here. The chief priests and the teachers, they really have no idea what they're saying. Verse 31, he saved others, they said, but he can't save himself. Let this Messiah, this King of Israel, come down now from the cross, that we may see and believe. Those crucified with him also heaped insults on him. So everybody that was there, and it talks about how as people walked by, they would hurl insults at the people that were being crucified. And yet here's Jesus willingly sacrificing himself, and everyone missed it. Everyone there missed it. They looked at it and they thought, oh, well, this Messiah, remember, this political Messiah, this warrior Messiah, this Savior Messiah, can't even save himself. He did a great job healing others. Oh, yeah, but look, when it really came down to it, he had nothing. They didn't understand his mission. They didn't understand his purpose. Sadly enough, his purpose was for them as much as it is for us. When Jesus died on the cross, he died so that anyone who recognized Jesus and acknowledged Jesus as God, and every tongue confess, anyone who believes that Jesus is Savior, they may be saved. They missed it. They completely missed it, and they mocked him till the very end. And yet, ironically enough, the people that did get it were not Jews. They were outsiders. The centurion who stood there in front of Jesus in verse 39 and said, surely this man was the Son of God. This isn't a man who should have known anything, and yet he recognized who Jesus is. We see in other accountings that one of the thieves on the cross, will get to him, that they recognized who Jesus is. And yet the people that should have seen Jesus missed it. Just like we should know when we've sinned, when we've done things wrong, and we miss it. What a terrible thought to think about missing Jesus. Now today, if you're watching this, you hopefully haven't missed Jesus. But if you're watching this and you're figuring out, I don't know this Jesus guy, there are ways for you to learn it. I want you to type in and do a search on the Roman road and walk through the verses of the Roman road. And then I want you to find a pastor, and I want you to visit with them, and I want you to talk to them about Jesus. Find someone that you know is a believer in Jesus. Don't just sit there. Do not miss Jesus. Do not pass Jesus by. Don't be like the people that are supposed to see Jesus and completely miss him. Be like the one who shouldn't have known anything and discover Jesus as a result. That's what we need to be doing. That's who is our Savior. He didn't save himself because he wanted to save us, because he loved us enough to want to save us versus saving himself. That is the Savior. That is everything that we need and nothing more. Have a blessed day. We'll talk next time.